Hey sports fans, welcome to the Cavalier Sports Report. I am your host, Shawn Simpson, and joining me today from our Lady Cavaliers basketball team, our national championship Lady Cavaliers basketball team, is head coach Ben Conrad. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So Coach, coming off of a national championship campaign from last year, tell me about what that is like and how you are working to reload and attack this year.
Well, it was obviously it's been a really busy spring, busy summer. We were kind of on it was really surreal for a while. It was kind of like, did this really happen? There was a good 3-4 weeks where I kept waking up wondering, was it a dream? And just kind of had to pinch myself a little bit. I think, I've been in this thing 20 years now. This is really my 20th college basketball team that I've been a part of in some way, shape, or form on staff, 14th as a head coach. So in 20 years of basically of disappointment, because nobody finishes the season winning.
Right.
Most people finish with heartbreak.
Right.
And so after, last year was my 19th team. You talk about all those years and frustrations and just misses and bad breaks and, buzzer beaters that go the wrong way and things that just don't fall in place. For it to finally fall in place was pretty special. So it was a great off season. Really enjoyed it. Obviously, it was a lot of fun. But we still have a job to do that doesn't really change. Really a whole lot. We're still, I'm still on the road recruiting a lot in the summer, looking at the next year's recruiting class. And my approach really didn't change much. But the spring was more enjoyable after winning a national title, for sure.
Yeah, so just tell me really quick, so I know they always say that, only one team gets to win the last game of the season in any sport. And for you guys, this being, your first one as a head coach,
Mm-hmm.
What was it about last year that made it so special? What do you feel like? Was there a difference in approach? Was there a difference in just the team makeup? Was it just magic?
Well, here's what I will tell you. You have to catch some breaks to win one of those. You have to. I mean, you have got to have some luck. That's not the best team I've had here. It really isn't. It was a good team, but we've had a couple that maybe might have had a little more talent, honestly, where it just didn't fall in place. We didn't catch breaks. We'd have a really bad shooting night. Like we had an Elite Eight game, I think, 4 years ago. With a group that might have been our most talented group, where we went like 1 for 25 behind the arc and just missed open three after open three after open three. And that's bad breaks. I mean, it really is. I know one year we went to the national tournament and our really good big kid sprained her ankle in the practice the day before, and so she wasn't healthy. So a lot of it is catching breaks. It's getting some luck. As far as a different approach, I think for me personally, I think last year for the first time, I didn't allow myself to really feel any pressure to win it. I just it was sort of a, let's enjoy it. Okay, let's have fun here.
Yeah.
I think we kind of started taking for granted getting to the national tournament for a little while, and then we had a 2-year run where we didn't win because we had another team in our region that was also a top 5 team in the country. We weren't able to beat them and didn't make it. So I think last year there was an appreciation for, hey, this is a lot of fun. Just being here is fun. And it wasn't that we were, satisfied to be there. But trust me, we wanted to win that thing bad. But I think for me the approach was more, maybe less pressure, less, just a little more laid back. I mean, we obviously prepared and worked hard, but I think I enjoyed that tournament more than I had in the past. I think in the past I was a little uptight, and I think it was just more of a, let's enjoy this, let's have fun, we're here, we've done the hard work, the hard part's over, now let's go put a couple games together and see if we can't win this. That's probably the biggest difference.
Yeah, and so in terms of reloading your team, because being a 2-year school, we see this over and over. You've got 2 years with your team. You got a team of newbies and a team of vets, and then they're just going to rotate out. What do you look for in your new players coming in to reload that team to continue success?
Well, there's no question that at any level, college basketball, the recruiting is absolutely critical. You can be the best coach in the world, and if you don't have good players, you're going to struggle. and that's something that I think we all understand and know. So recruiting's critical. As far as here, how we've approached it, it's really, we go out and we evaluate in the summer the kids that are going to be seniors, and we evaluate that class and try to figure out who we want to target, who's a good fit. We kind of follow that up and watch them throughout the season. So it's kind of an ongoing process that really, honestly, it never ends. I maybe have 1 month out of the year where I'm not kind of engrossed in recruiting, and the rest of the months of the year I'm working pretty hard at it. So, as far as reloading, we've been very fortunate here. We've recruited a lot of really good players, and I think the biggest thing is they got to be able to play. Obviously, you don't recruit kids that can't play,
right.
So they got to be able to play. There's got to be some talent. They got to be somewhat of a fit for how you like to play your system, and then they got to be the kind of people you want in your program. I think that's really important. You got to get kids that are solid, that have good character, that are going to go to class. They're going to take care of business in the classroom. We talk a lot with our players about. I'm not interested in people that want to pick and choose what they're good at. We don't want you to pick and choose. We want you to be good at everything. Be good in the classroom.
Yeah.
Be good on the court. Be good if you're taking a leadership role in a club on campus or whatever. Be really good at that. Excel at it. And so we really try to find kids that will buy into that idea of trying to be good at everything. People that pick and choose what they're good at. I think I'm going to really be good on the court, but I'm going to, in the classroom, I'm not quite as interested in that. That stuff all bleeds together.
Yeah.
That you always hear the term success breeds success. I'm a huge believer in that. So we try to find the right kind of kid, but I think ultimately it goes back around to they've got to be able to play. You get the best players, you're going to have a chance to win.
Yeah. So, Coach, tell me a little bit about your career overall. You said you're approaching 20 years in college basketball in one form or another. At what point did you know you wanted to get into coaching, and how did you pursue that?
I knew that I wanted to coach from a very, very young age. I mean, I'd say junior high, maybe earlier.
Really?
I've been around a lot of coaches. My family, growing up, uncles that were college football coaches, college basketball coaches. So I've been in a family of people that have been in athletics and been in education. I think on my mom's side of the family, I literally think everybody on that side of the family is in education. I can't even think of one person that isn't. We're talking dozens of people. Her grandfather was the president of a college for 30 years. Her mom and dad were teachers, educators. My mom is a teacher, 35 years, is going to retire this year. And so we've just come from a family of educators, and I've always loved sports and always knew I wanted to do it. I didn't know if it was going to be a high school teacher and coach or a college coach until I think I figured that out for sure when it probably around towards the end of high school and into college. I had an opportunity to be a student assistant at the University of Northern Iowa on the men's side, and once I got a kind of a taste of that, I knew that I wasn't going to be a high school coach. I wanted to recruit. I wanted to be in the college setting, and so I think I knew I was going to teach and coach in some way, shape, or form by junior high. But I think when I got to college and I had that opportunity to work on the men's staff at UNI, that was when it really took off. And there's never been any doubt that's what I wanted to do. I had a slight moment after undergrad where I kind of thought about going to law school and wanted to maybe get into to be like an agent, like a sports agent, that kind of thing. But ultimately, I think I've always wanted to be a part of a team and coach a team, and so that's kind of what got me there through that process.
Wow. Well, Coach, my last question that I love to ask every coach is, in those final moments before you send the coach or before you send the players out onto the court to play the game, either right on the sideline before you send them out there on those final moments on the bus or in the locker room, what do you say to them, or what do you have them do to get them ready to go out and play, to motivate them?
We don't do. I mean, we kind of have a plan and a process that we follow that's pretty consistent, and it'll be pretty much the same the first game of the year to the national championship game, because I want that consistency, and I think the players need that consistency. So, it's really just a review of our scouting report. We've got something on the board that's got it's got our personnel scouting report on the opponent. It's got kind of our keys to the game, and then we've got another board that talks about kind of the things that we are, who we want to be, and it's kind of our base and what our program's about. That's always right there, and it involves some things we do defensively, and so we just kind of review that. We talk about the opponent and get them focused. And as far as motivation goes, these are college athletes. They don't need to be motivated externally by me, lighting a fire under them or giving them the win one for the Gipper speech or anything like that. They're college athletes and they're part of an elite program. We've always got a target on our back. Everywhere we go, they want to beat us pretty bad. Everywhere we go, we get their best shot. And we're always playing for something. That's the thing I think when you come to school here and play basketball here in our program is, and this is what we tell recruits, is you're always playing for something. There's always something. These games really matter. Whether it's a ranking or a spot in the conference standings or whatever. I think every time we step on the floor, I think it matters. And sometimes it matters because the people we're playing really, really want to beat us. Because like right now, we're ranked #1 in the country right now. So we're going to play our opening weekend games, and you don't think they know that? They know that. The opponent knows that.
Yep.
And so our kids have that target on their back, and they don't need any extra, motivation from me. Every once in a while, I'll have a little something I'll throw at them. But for the most part, it's pretty consistent. It's our plan, it's our process, it's our scouting report, and then they go out and do their thing because it's a player's game. I mean, ultimately, basketball it's a player's game.
So being ready to play is a motivation.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, they start playing here in just a few days. Start playing them to count, and we have the tournament hosting it here in the spring. So that is going to be very exciting.
Yep.
Well, Coach,
thank you.
good luck this season.
All right,
It's
man.
been great having you.
Yep, appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Okay.
All right, well, that's it for today. On behalf of the whole JCAP team, I'd like to thank Coach Conrad for coming in. I'm Shawn Simpson, and this has been your Cavalier Sports Report.